You are right. You have given me 10 years ever so generously, and with your blessings, undoubtedly, I have prospered. But you know, my children are very young. Not only that, my wife is again with a child. She would not be able to handle the burden of all of them alone. Allow me to stay another 10 years. Until the children are old enough to care for themselves. It's a good point. A true guru will guide you to the path, show you the light and help when help is requested, but will never force a disciple against the disciple's will to follow any particular path. That is the way of mature guru. He allows you freedom. He wants you to take in a very steady manner to spiritual path. Anyway, the Guru was very compassionate because he has accepted him as a disciple. So he said, all right, stay another 10 years until you feel that your mission is fulfilled. So he granted 10 years. Of course, after this again he will come. 10 years passed away like anything. Then the Guru returned to the home. What did he find? He found a large bulldog out front guarding the house. Immediately, the teacher recognized his disciple in the dog and saw with his divine vision what had happened. That the man had passed away several years prior, but due to his intense protectiveness over his family and wealth, he had taken birth as a guarded dog. The Guru put his hand on the dog's head and said, my child, now that you have regressed from a human to a dog due to your attachment to these worldly things, are you finally ready to come with me? The dog licked the hand of his Guru lovingly and said, my beloved master, you are right. That is my own attachment which has driven me to take birth as a dog. But you see, our children have many enemies who are envious of their wealth and power. These enemies are very dangerous to my children, and I must stay here to protect them. However, I am sure that within a few years everything will sort itself out and then we'll be fine. So please give me just 7 more years to protect them. Then I am yours. Still he is asking. The Guru left him and returned exactly after 7 years. This time there was no dog out front, and the home was filled with grandchildren running around. The Guru closed his eyes and he saw with his divine vision that his disciple had taken birth in the form of a cobra, went into the wall near the family safe to guard the money. He called the grandchildren of the house. My children, he said, in the wall to the right of your safe, there is a cobra curled up in a small nook. Go there and bring the cobra to me. The Guru is telling them, do not kill it. I will not harm you. It will not harm you. I promise. But just break its back with a stick and then bring it to me. The children were incredulous, but went to the wall where the old man had directed them. Incredibly, they saw that just as the Guru had said, a cobra was curled up in the wall. Following his orders, they broke the cobra's back and carried it outside to the Guru. The Guru thanked the children, threw the cobra over his neck and left. As he walked away carrying the cobra over his neck, the Guru spoke to the cobra, injured and aching. My child, I am sorry for hurting you, but there is no other way. 27 years and 3 births ago, you left to taste the material world of sensual pleasures. But the ways of Maya are so alluring and so subtle that they trap us instantly. We have wasted these lifetimes in the futile pursuit of material success and in attachment to people who also are only actors in a cosmic drama. My child, all here is Maya, cosmic illusion. It lures us into its trap, convincing us that it is real, permanent, everlasting and significant. But in reality, the only thing which is real is Him. And the only true happiness of life is to get close to Him. These attachments merely divert our attention and focus away from the true purpose of life. I had no choice but to come to your rescue as I saw you sinking deeper and deeper into the deep clutches of Maya. That's the story. So frequently in life we think, just one more year, then I will cut back on my luxuries and cut back on my time at the office. Just one more year. And I will dedicate more time to meditation and spiritual pursuits. Just one more year. And then I will go to India, sit at my Guru's feet and delve into the divine depths of spirituality. Just one more year, and then I'll cut down on my sensual pleasures. And so on and so on. But then, that one more year never comes. Our intentions are good. We want to be more spiritual. We want to devote more time to spiritual pursuits. We want to spend less, needless and serve more. We want to spend less, need less and serve more. We want to be the master over lust, anger and greed rather than vice versa. But the power of Maya is stronger than the power of our will. Thus we continue to find excuses for why we must continue to work 50 or 60 hour or weeks. Why we still have no time for meditation. Why we can't squeeze a visit to the holy place of India into our year's planning. And why we must continue to satiate our insatiable sensual urges. The only way to break free from the veil of illusion that Maya wraps around our minds is to surrender to God and pray to Him to show us the true light. The only way to break free is to make and stick to concrete vows of how we are beginning to be better people next year. Rather than saying, I will find time to meditate, we must say, I will not leave for work without sitting in meditation. And I will not sleep at night without doing my nightly introspection. Rather than saying, I will try to come to India and visit holy places wherever I can, we must say, I will take my vacation this year in India and nowhere else. Rather than say, I will try to cut back on my expenses so that my financial needs are less. You must say, I will not buy another jacket or pair of shoes until the ones that I have are broken, torn, or no longer fit me. Rather than say, I will try to overcome my anger, lust and greed, we must commit to having daily appointments with God in which we introspect on all the times we allowed ourselves to be overpowered by these emotions, and we must pray for strength daily to remain calm, peaceful and sattvic in our lives. Sri Ramakrishna said, the bound souls are tied to the world by the fetters of lust and gold. They are bound hand and foot, thinking that lust and gold will make them happy and give them security. And they do not realize that it will lead them to annihilation. When a person thus out to the world is about to die, his wife asks, "You are about to go, but what have you done for me?" So like that, time flies away. There is no point in finding fault, pointing fingers with others to others, but rather trying to be serious and know the value of time and utilize it properly. The time is allotted to us by the Divine Master. Every human being has got a allotted time. One has to accomplish things within that time period. There is no question of postponing it. And so, whatever may be the condition, position, really we must focus our attention on spiritual practices. Accordingly, we should adjust our life. That's the way of organizing our mind and putting on the right track. It's quite natural. Mind goes here and there because of the lot of junks we have loaded in the mind. All our futile activities and coming in contact with worldly people with worldly tendencies, our mind has become tainted beyond recognition. So much so, we do not know what to do. We reach a helpless state. But if we had done any good deeds in the previous life, it comes to our rescue. At the point of most helplessness, a real hope will come. Well, oh Lord, I have committed so many mistakes and wrongdoings. Please forgive me and give devotion to your lotus feet. If the person prays sincerely, God will respond. How he responds? He responds to him in the form of giving him patience, giving him inspiration to start spiritual life without further delay. Then of course one has to struggle. Struggling is the way. It is like a mountain climbing. You have to climb the mountain, you have to rise up. Ups and downs will be there. We must keep on marching. Don't stop, keep on marching. Finally, you will reach the goal. That's what Swami says. Each soul is potentially divine. The goal of human life is to realize the immortal nature of the soul. And Sri Ramakrishna himself has shown to us through his life, the goal of human life is to realize God. And he also tells us, as long as I live, so long do I learn. If you know these two teachings clearly, then life becomes blessed. Take everything in the spirit of learning. Then the complaining attitude will go and you will improve fast in spiritual path. So, we have seen people talking very loosely about the time. And it is also true they are spending a lot of time, 20 hours, more than 20 hours for hectic worldly activities. And they say, well, after 2 or 3 years I will be retiring, then I will devote more time to spiritual life. But what do? Immediately after retirement, then they join some night club and they play cards. Sri Ramakrishna says that in the gospel. Even in old age, they are playing cards as if there is a lot of time. So life goes away. And everyone has to achieve the goal from one's own effort. So Purusha Prayatna. Everything has to be achieved through earning. We have to earn spiritual merit and we have to practice it. That's the way of utilizing time. So Brahmanji has said in his teachings, waste no more time. So, this retreat with Swami should help you to understand the significance of the spiritual life. So that's about this topic, waste no more time. And now I will speak about the next topic, keep away from evil.
You want a break, Mother? You want a break?
No. Keep away from the evil. Sri Ramakrishna says in the Gospel, he was talking to Narendra. God dwells in all beings, but you may be intimate only with good people. You must keep away from the evil-minded. God is even in the tiger, but you can't embrace the tiger on that account. Everybody laughs. You may say, why run away from a tiger? It is also a manifestation of God. The answer to that is, those who tell you to run away are also the manifestations of God. And why shouldn't we listen to them? So that's the beauty. In order to make this point more clear, Sri Ramakrishna gives a parable. All his teachings are loaded with parables and stories to impress upon the significance of the teaching. So in a forest there lived a holy man who had many disciples. One day he taught them to see God in all beings, and knowing this, to bow low before them all. A disciple went to the forest to gather wood for the sacrificial fire. Suddenly he heard the outcry, "Get away from here, the mad elephant is coming." All but the disciple of the holy man took to their heels. This particular disciple, he was reasoning that the elephant was also God in another form. Then why should he run away from it? So he wanted to test the teaching of the Guru. He stood still. He bowed before the animal and began to even praise him. The Mahut of the elephant was shouting, "Run away, rascal! save your life. But the disciple did not move. But the animal seized him with his trunk, cast him away one side, and went on its way. The disciple was hurt and bruised, and he lay unconscious on the ground. Hearing what had happened, his teacher and his brother disciples came to him and carried him to the hermitage. With the help of some medicine, he soon regained consciousness. Someone asked him, "You knew the elephant was coming. Why didn't you leave the place?" But he said, "Well, our teacher has told that God himself has taken all these forms of animals as well as men. Therefore, thinking it was only the elephant god that was coming, I did not run away." And this the teacher said, "Well, my child, it is true that the elephant god was coming. But you must remember the Mahut god forbade you to stay there. Since all are manifestations of God, why didn't you trust the Mahut's words? You should have heeded the words of the Mahut god." Everybody laughs. So that means you must use your discriminating faculty in dealing with life. It is said in the scriptures that water is a form of God, but some water is fit to be used for worship, some water for washing the face, and some only for washing plates or dirty linen. This last sort cannot be used for drinking or for holy purpose. In like manner, God undoubtedly, He dwells in the hearts of everyone, holy and unholy, righteous and unrighteous. But a man shouldn't have dealings with the unholy, the wicked, the impure. He must not be intimate with them. With some of them he may exchange words, but with others he shouldn't go even that far. He should keep aloof from such people. Association with the evil-minded is capable of changing the basic goodness of people and downgrading a person's integrity. Such a dangerous influence can even get one's priorities messed up, as it happened in the Ramayana when Kaikeyi met Manthara. Kaikeyi was a very good woman to begin with. He loved Rama more than Kausalya. But such a noble woman as Kaikeyi, her mind was totally spoiled because of the bad advice, bad association with Manthara, who was every day poking, talking all sorts of things which are not good. The drastic change in the course of events that followed in the wake of this association illustrates the fact that evil consequences have immediate impact. Even though you are good, your goodness will vanish and be overpowered by evil. The poisoning effect of Manthara's company was such that there was a total transformation in Kaikeyi within a brief period. She had a special love for Lord Rama and had expressed such genuine joy at his forthcoming coronation. She was now just the opposite. Manthara had turned Kaikeyi against Lord Rama to such an extent that she stood relentless and unyielding to any pressure from anyone as far as the two boons she demanded of Dasharath were concerned. A series of thoughts passed through Dasharatha's mind. He was aware of the ignominy that would incur either way in this impasse. If he granted the boons, he would be accused of banishing his eldest son and heir apparent to the forest, and of showing partiality to his second born. If he refused to grant the boons, he would be blamed for failing to keep his word, a trait that great kings took utmost care to cultivate and uphold. Dasharatha's state was a pitiable one. Kaikeyi's 2 boons left Dasharatha visibly shaken. This highly esteemed ruler, whose fame and greatness had spread far and wide, now had to keep at Kaikeyi's feet, pleading with her to relax the intensity of the demands. But when she even threatened to give up her life if Dasharatha sought any relaxation in them, he guessed the imminent and the inevitable that would happen. He would not survive separation from Lord Rama. Therefore, scriptures caution against evil company and recommend the association with the pious. That's holy association, satsang. The grace of God is necessary for the spiritual aspirant to seek satsang that provides a chance for self-introspection. This leads to viveka and vairagya, discrimination and dispassion, that help one to focus on the eternal and the everlasting rather than transient and ephemeral. So, one has to be very careful. And it's very blessing that one should engage oneself in activity. People think spirituality means not doing any work. No, it is not like that. It is not keeping idle. In fact, our masters have told you must be intensely active, but active in the proper way. If you do not work, evil thoughts and unnecessary cares will occupy your mind. And as all the masters have told, never find fault or criticize others. Such a habit is harmful to yourself. By thinking continually of the evil of others, the evil will impress itself upon your own mind, and the good that is in you will be overshadowed. It's a common nature, generally, of the people. As soon as they open their mouth, they talk something ill. But when you talk ill of a person, you must remember that you are interfering in the karma of that person whom you are finding fault with. In fact, you become the partner in his karma. So like that, we mix with so many people and so many karmas we are interfering with our own karma also. So it becomes a mess. I don't know, I have told you a story about this, but it's very relevant to tell that story. There was a great king. Had I told this? Huh?
No, Swami.
Yeah.
Tell again.
There was a great king during the Raghuvamsha period. Very great king, very noble. Had I told?
A black mountain.
Yeah, correct.
No, Swami. We don't.
Then I don't want to repeat.
No, Swami. We don't know. I have got poor memory, Swami. Please repeat.
Anyway, because the king had very good life, all his people loved him and it was very prosperous. But he was not happy because he was attacked by leprosy. Then he contacted the Guru Vasishtha